Well, Rishi Sunak is now the favourite to become the next PM after Boris Johnson ruled himself out of the leadership contest at about 9 o'clock last night.
The former Prime Minister claimed he had the necessary 102 Conservative MPs to move on to the next stage of the contest, but said it wasn't the right thing to do. Now, let's go to West London. There you go. Rishi Sunak just popping out of his house. We've been watching his home in West London all morning. Didn't seem to spend much time talking to reporters there. Keen to get on with things, it would seem, and heading who knows where. But that's the first sighting of him today. So by 2 o'clock today, we will know whether he is so much clearly in front that there's no debate about whether it's going to be him or Penny Mordaunt, or whether she has picked up some of those names that were going to go to Boris Johnson, and that there is a contest. I think we have Jonathan Swain waiting to speak to us. Jonathan, you were there. Didn't look like he stopped for many questions to be answered there.
No, we've been waiting here all morning for Mr Sunak, and he popped out, as you saw, just a few moments ago. But could he be swapping this address here in West London for number 10 at Downing Street tomorrow? As you say, he's obviously got a huge day ahead of him. And when you look at his career, he's only 42. And it's absolutely remarkable, isn't it, of what he's achieved so far. Already been Chancellor, of course. Now, as we've been discussing all morning, perhaps looking to be on the verge of our next Prime Minister. I think that is going to be what is the Prime Minister? Now, you've got to have a look at your notes, because a fifth Prime Minister in 6 years. Now, of course, he is married to an Indian the daughter of an Indian billionaire, of course. Some controversy about his wife's finances, but now she's sort of changed her non-dom status. He has 2 daughters who went on the campaign trail with him during the summer as well. So we're going to have to wait and see whether those numbers certainly look his way. Can Penny Mordaunt catch up with those numbers? But as you say, he wasn't saying a lot today. He's got a big task ahead of him if he is to become the Prime Minister, to use that experience of being a Chancellor, of course, very popular during lockdown for spending some £350 billion on the furlough scheme. He was big on the Eat Out to Help Out scheme as well, wasn't he? And was very much against going too severe on the lockdown. But look, we've just saw him leave now. Obviously going to head up to Westminster, more meetings with MPs. Is the country ready for Rishi?
Jonathan,
yeah, Louise is outside number 10 this morning, I think, isn't she? Oh, sorry, Richard.
That's all right, carry on.
No, Louise is outside number 10 this morning. We've been hearing that, that Rishi has been spending a lot of time in the Commons, sitting at the MPs' lunch and dining table to try and foster goodwill with them. I wonder if that's where he's running to now.
Well, it's obviously worked, because he has got 140 or so confirmed backers, and that puts him clearly in the lead. And if, in fact, he is the only one who goes past 100 by 2 o'clock this afternoon, then subject to King Charles's schedule this afternoon, he could well be here in Downing Street by tea time. Significantly, those backers include some big names from both the right and the centre of the Conservative Party, including most recently Jeremy Hunt, the new Chancellor. It doesn't mean, though, that Rishi Sunak is the favourite with everybody. There are a significant number of MPs who still blame him for bringing down Boris Johnson, and some may even decide to support Penny Mordaunt just to keep Rishi Sunak out. She certainly isn't giving up the fight. In fact, she is doing her best to get those supporters of Boris Johnson. She has tweeted this morning a tribute to him, saying, in taking this difficult decision last night to pull out, of course, Boris Johnson has put country before party and party before self. He worked to secure the mandate and the majority we now enjoy. We should put it to good use, and I know he will work with us to do so. In reaching out to him there in a way that we know Rishi Sunak couldn't. The two fell out spectacularly. Of course, she's also, I think, saying that she is the only one who can bring those various different factions of the party together. And if we learnt anything from Liz Truss's premiership, is if you don't have the party behind you, you are not going to last very long in Downing Street. But she has a big hill to climb, because she only has about 25 or so declared backers so far, and that is why the momentum does seem to be behind Rishi Sunak. It is only 7 weeks since he lost the last leadership contest. He spent that contest describing Liz Truss's economic principles as fairy tale, but he could be about to have a fairy tale ending of his own.